want to mention that this code lab is hands-on. So at the point you might need to like bring out your laptop and like code with it because it's a code lab. Before we go on, if you don't have Docker installed on your laptop, how many of us have Docker installed? If you don't have Docker installed, you can go to their website and then install Docker. So I'm going to start with what open authorization is. So simply just the same way you go to a website and then you try to log in and then they are saying continue with Google, continue with Facebook, you can use Twitter, continue with Twitter and all of those things. And that's simply what open authorization is. It allows a website and it authorizes you on a website without sharing your username or your password. Say, for example, I have a website, say Motunrayo.com, and I want you to be able to maybe share your profile picture or apply to opportunities on my website. So instead of you coming to my website and then going through the registration processes, the login processes, and all of those things, you just continue with some authorization providers. So right now we have a number of them, but the popular ones are Google, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, and all of those things. So now we're going to, like, just as I explained, it allows third-party people gain access to your application without using your username and your password. So you have your website, but you don't want to stop with this credential, right? To allow them log in using their authorization from different platforms, right? So yeah, that's just some of what open authorization is. And then there are like four core concepts in open authorization. We have the resource owner, we have the client, we have the authorization server, and the resource server. So usually, the authorization server and the resource server are usually the same thing. Then the resource owner is the person that's trying to log in into the third-party application. For example, if I am trying to log into, say, a website, their first Lagos website, and they are using open authorization, right? I am going to be the resource owner. Then the client will be like the application that is making the request on my behalf, which is going to be their first Lagos. I want to take us through the general flow of the open authorization process. So you mentioned we have four core people in, four core concepts for open authorization: the resource owner, client, authorization server, and the resource server. So I want to take us through the process of authorizing, right? So the first is the client, which is me. I authorize from the resource owner. Then the client, hello? Okay, so the client, which is Defense Lagos. I'm using Defense Lagos for this scenario. Say Defense Lagos is our platform, and then have the user. So Defense Lagos is going to be the client. Then I am going to be like the resource owner on the website or the platform that you see. So Defense Lagos will make the authorization on my own behalf, and then I'll provide consent. So usually, sometimes when you try to log in using Google Auth or Facebook Auth or any kind of authorization, if you are not signed in into your Google account, you usually get this sign in into your Google account. You have to first provide your Google email and your Google password, right? To authenticate who the user is. Then, after the authentication has happened, your guys' authorization server, which could be Google or Facebook or anybody else, would provide a code to the client, which is, in our example, Defense Lagos. And then the client and the authorization server will exchange an authorization code for an access token. And then the next stage is the access token is what the client is going to use to allow you, the resource owner, to access the resource server. We are going to see all these things when we start implementing the OAuth using Google as a platform. So now I have pushed the repo to GitHub. So if you want to download, if you want to follow as we code along, you can go to this website, bit.ly/OAuth/code lab. So how many of us are with our laptop? How many of us are interested in trying this code lab out as we think? So we can work together. Please, If you're interested, can I see if you have your laptop so we know that no one could have followed along. You can follow along with your phones, but you cannot be able to write code. It's a code lab, so like it's hands-on, right? So if you are interested in following, firstly, you have to download Docker because it's a container. Please, you have to download Docker. If you don't download Docker, it means that you have to install all the implementation one by one. If you're interested in, you can still follow along without Docker, right? But you have to download um, all the things we're using in the code, right? So Docker just makes things easier. So if you're interested, please go to bit.ly/OAuth code lab. Please let me know when to proceed with the repetition part. So I'll just give us about, say, 1 minute to go to this link, bit.ly/OAuth code lab. Okay, so it should bring you to this page. If you click on it, it should bring you to this page on my GitHub, Google OAuth 2. Do you want me to go back to the URL? Okay. The URL is dic.ly/OAuth Do I know to the GitHub now? No one is responding. Hello? It's looking like you got this code, everybody's time. Don't worry, I use fast API, so you don't have to understand. It's not, I didn't use a very hard language. Python is quite easier, easy to spin up. That's why I was recommending downloading for everyone. So do you want me to go to the GitHub now? Okay, thank you. So we're here in a folder, right? All the instructions you actually need to follow is a ring book. But I'm going to take all of us and do step by step, right? So the first thing you need to go to is go to this old place I am and copy this URL. Are we following? Are we following? Okay. So if you copy this URL, go to your, I already have it in my code, in my Visual Studio code, but you can come to your Visual Studio code, open a new terminal, and click and do git scroll. Yeah? Oh, okay. How do I show you? Okay. Uh, so, is it okay now? Is it good now? So if you copy it, just do git clone. I'm not going to clone it because I already go. Just do git clone and paste the URL. Oh, sorry. I place the URL I copied from my GitHub. Let me copy it. Do git clone this URL here. Copy it. Please let me know when to move forward. I'm going to ask questions, so it looks like everybody's okay. Um, have you cloned the repository? Okay, okay, great. So after cloning the repository, you can come to my README here. The first step to do is, I mentioned that you need Docker, right? We also need a authorization client credentials. So go to console.google.com on your laptop. Okay. So if you open Google Cloud or Google Console, you should have something that looks like this. Does everybody have? If you've not used Google Console before, it might require that you register for a Google Cloud account or a Google Console account. So please let me know if we should move forward. Okay. So if you come to your Google Cloud, the first thing you do is you try to register a new service. Use Google accounts. So you go to the navigation menu, you go to services. I'm coming. You come here. I have a number of projects here. So just click new projects. So what should we call these projects? What do you suggest? FS, just FS. Okay, so let's call it breakfast, OAuth demo. Right. Then click on it. So Google tries to create a new project for you. It's still great, right? After creating it, you have to select it. So now we are in the Get First OAuth demo project, right? So what we now have to do is we need to create the OAuth credentials. Now we do. Guys still see my screen? It's still very obvious. You don't really it's up, but I see it. So the next thing we need to do is go to API services and create our credentials. So this is API service. We go to credentials. That's it. So yes. Yeah. So we see this create credential page up here and click on it. And then we choose the OAuth client API. So when we get here, it will ask us to configure the consent grid. It's very, very comfortable. Yeah. So we are here now. They just recently upgraded their page, so there are quite some new stuff that are here. So they are going to ask you if your application is for internal or external user. Internal user means that if there is a complete domain, for example, if your email address is motunrayo@first.com, only people with their first domain will be able to use the the OAuth in that you're creating, right? So because we want anybody to be able to test our authorization flow, we are going to click on external. So I click on external and then I click create. Yeah. So now when you want to create an application, the name here will be different from the name that was created for. You can use the same name, it doesn't matter, but it's going to ask you for the application name and then an email that users can reach out to if they are having issues, right? So now we're going to go to, let me call it First Lagos Demo. First Lagos Demo. Lagos Demo. So if you want to ask for a support email, I'm going to use my email as default. You can use another email. It's not necessarily the email this well also that you should use. Okay. So if you have an authorized domain, you can add it. But I don't have Word, so I'm going to leave it like that. Um, they would also ask for your developers' contact information in case anything changes understand that it's possible that it could be the project manager that created this, and then somebody else is the developer. So yes, it's that the developer, which is still hard in my email address here. Skin is looking sorry. Can you guys see it? I don't think it's a scoop issue. I think. Ah, ah, okay. You just need to add email address, and then you are now in the final screening. Yeah. So ask you for scopes in case you don't want to look scopes of private user, private information of the person, and then you can save and continue, right? You don't really need anything to test here. So I'm just going to save and continue. Yeah. I've used most of the information in there, so I'm going to go back to the dashboard. Yeah. So now we filled most of the basic information from the console. We need to go back to our dashboard to create the credentials that we need for our application. So I'll go back to. Can you still see my? Okay. Yes. Is it okay? Okay. Okay. Um, so now we go to the dashboard. We go to apps and services. It used to be app and service, but now it's API and service. We go to credentials. And then we see, can we see create credentials? So we click on create credentials. So it's going to ask us what kind of credentials we need. There are different credentials depending on what you want to do. But we need the OAuth client ID. So we click on the OAuth client ID. So Google is going to ask us what kind of application we are working on. For our demo, it's a web application. If you are working on an Android or iOS or a desktop application, you choose as it fits, right? So that the app can know how to redirect and all those. So you click on web application. So let's name the OAuth our first client. Yeah. So now we need to define our redirect URL. So when you try to log into a third-party application, the part where it's going to take you to Google's website is authorize yourself. When you are not without authorization, Google needs to take you to another website that belongs to the clients. The clients being themselves owner now. Say for example, we have a DFS website. We want anybody to be able to log into we want anybody with a Google account to be able to log into our DFS account. After that login, you need Google needs to redirect back to a page that belongs to them first so that you can continue with whatever you are doing, right? So in this page, this page or auth client ID, you have to add a URL, a place where people is going to take you back, or your own platform, right? Or take your details back, right? So in my example, or in the demo, I'm using this localhost fallback. I'm going to explain the endpoints for you when I go to the code. But for now, you can just use the endpoints. Yeah, so I'll click on add URL. I've added the URLs. Yes. So I click on create new thing. So now what I've done is the part that has to do with Google. The OAuth explanation for Facebook might be different from this, or from a GitHub, or from a Twitter, or for any other kind of application, right? So what we do now is download this JSON. Download is our in our on our local machine. So now let's go to the code, right? Yeah. So we're back in the code base. Um, So I use Fast API Python so that I read this can be easy to explain. For even for people it's not in our background, at least this code is not very technical or detailed like code in other places. Right? It's easy and everything is just in one page. So if you upload your repository, you notice that there are so many underlines here. This is because I do not install this package on my local machine. I'm using Docker, so everything is in my Docker container, and I can just spin up my website like that. So let me just give a little summary of everything that's happening in this page. I need to load my secret department in this place. And then I'm initializing the fast API here, right? This code here is confirming that I validated my Google and my client ID. But before then, the JSON that we downloaded from yeah, this JSON. I need to copy this JSON and use it in my application because that's what's going to allow somebody else authorized on my platform. So if I copy this JSON, if I copy this JSON, I go to my secret.json file and then I make. Can you see them? Okay. So before you continue, if you are in your own ID, please get the file. Oh, you go to your terminal. Do um, a run is about the Linux command. It copies the EMV exact one. Oh, okay. So this is where I am. It copies the EMV of example of EMV to an EMV file. So if you open your EMV file, you have some um, you see Google clients and secret key. This is what the EMV on example looks like. So you now go to your secret.json farm and copy the client secrets to fill out the Google client ID and the secret key. So I come here, I've done my direction, but the client ID is going to be your Google client ID in the code, and the secret key is going to be the client secret here. Okay. Please let me know if you are feel your TM file. So after this has been done, you will go into your after updating your .tmd file with the client ID and secret key, you need to run Docker compose build. So if you go into your terminal, you have to click new terminal to come into your terminal. You do a Docker compose build, and it builds all the packages that were installed from here. It creates a new Docker container and then import all those packages into it. So the code is still running. So this is one of the advantages of Docker containers, right? You don't have to have all the packages installed on your laptop. You can just add everything create a local container and import everything into a local container. When you're done, you can delete the local container. So you don't have to store packages and all of those things on your local machine. It also makes it easy for anybody else that wants to use your code. So instead of them trying to figure out what version of a particular package or this thing, they just run the local compose and then everything is installed. Afterwards, we run Docker Compose to set up our so that we can view our our application. So if I run Docker Compose up now, you see that our container has been recreated. It is recreated because I previously created this. So if I come here and I command click, it takes me to this simple web page that I have created for myself. So this web page requires login with open authorization, right? So if I do login, it asks me which of I should choose an account because that person Lagos does not want to they don't want me to put in my username and my password. They just want me to authorize against multiple accounts. If I click my accounts, it tells me, oh, by considering my base share your name, username, and all those stories, and then I can still cancel or I want to continue. So who is trying to let you know that if you continue this, you're already sharing your videos with them, so you don't need to sign up on their websites. If I come and click, and then I open. So we're back to the web page, edit test papers. If I click on login, it asks me which of my accounts, I click on the account I want. I click continue. Yeah. So if you still look at this page, it shows I did not share my I didn't share my username or my email or my picture with them first but they have access to it because I'm authorized against Google authorization. Do you guys get the flow? So this is simply what open authorization does. You don't share your email, you don't share your password. You connect with a third party, GitHub, or anybody. You connect with them, and then Google will share your information with them. So you don't have to force authorization and say you don't username or password. They can prepare a username and password anywhere. So this is just the bit of authorization. They're not sharing your. They're not creating an account on the Data Papers platform. You're not doing anything. You just authorize all of a sudden who have access to your email, your picture, even your full name. So okay, so this is like the demo that we're supposed to have, even though I realize that a lot of us are not with our laptops. So does anybody have any question? Question time. Does this mean, okay, let me wait for a few more seconds. Nobody has any question. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the code. It could be about open authorization concepts that you must have heard about before, or, yeah. Okay. This means that all of us here understand open authorization. Am I correct? Hey, are you guys sure? Okay, somebody has a question. But do you guys understand the flow? Is it clear? Be honest though. Do you understand the flow? You are not giving me encouraging response. So. It's clear? Okay. Before we go on to the question, let me ask somebody that said it's clear. Is it clear? So it's not clear. Is it clear? Okay. Can you stand up? Can I ask you a question about it? Yes. So what does open authorization allows us to do in like one sentence? Just tell us. Yeah, teach us.
All right. Open authorization allows us to log in and access third-party application without having to insert our
Yeah,
details.
yeah. So yeah, it shows that, I mean, even if you guys were not following the technical stuffs I was coding, at least everybody has like a basic understanding. So over to you, sir.
Okay, my question is that if you decide that later on you don't want to use OpenAuth, is it possible to still log into that website?
So when you are logging into a website, there are two ways. Some people will say create your username and password. Then underneath, you will now still see continue with Google. Am I correct? Everybody else you've used third-party application where they will say create your username or register. And then underneath it, you will now have continue with Google. So if you continue with Google, it means that you have chosen to register using Google. You can go back and revoke your access as an individual or a resource owner and tell them that you don't want to give them, and then you have to go back to the registration page and now register. Do you understand? Because if you revoke your access, it means that Google is not giving these third-party people, they're not giving them any information again. So they need to authenticate you by themselves. Did I answer your question? Okay. Does anybody have any other question?
Okay, thank you very much. Your session is awesome.
Thank
My
you.
question is not about social authentication, it's about JWT. So if you're using JWT authentication, does it have a standard time for the access token to be valid before you refresh it?
Okay, so this session is not based on JWT. That's a different authorization, a different conversation entirely.
Yes.
JWT is JSON Web Tokens.
I know.
So the way JWT works is different. For token in JWT, you'll be the one to set that the TTL for your token. You want it to expire in 5 minutes. You want it to do not expire. Maybe you want to give it 60 years. You are the one that will set it. Everything is in your control.
Okay,
and not.
sorry for cutting. Does it depend on the use case? You know, if I'm working on a financial application, for example, I may decide to just terminate it after 2-3 minutes based on the use case. But if it is perhaps an AI program or an AI application that the user needs to be active, I can just decide to be like, okay, be active for 7 days, 20 hours. Does it depend on the use case?
So you are the one,
Okay.
you the developer, you are the one thinking about it and creating the time you want it to expire. So nobody is in charge of so as you're creating it, they will ask you, do you want to expire? When do you want it to expire?
Okay.
If you say, I don't want it to expire,
All right.
nothing happens. Do you
Okay.
get?
Yes, thank
so
you.
you as the developer will be the one to set all those configurations.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like we have one more person and then we'll be done.
All right, so my question is this. Is there any security risk when using OAuth?
Okay. Well, at the moment, everything is a change, right? We went from using just username and password to OAuth 1.0 and 2.0, right? So I can't say that, there's a security risk where you're using Google 2.0, right? What they are sharing with you is the data you request for. You can choose not to. So one thing as a developer, one thing you have to know how to do is don't request for what you don't need. If you don't need the person's picture, don't ask for it. If you need just their name and their email address, only ask for the information you need. This way, you are helping your own customers and everybody else make the internet secure for all of us, right? So when you are using OAuth or anything you are building as a developer, you don't have to request for what you don't need, right? So OAuth is currently 2.0, but 2.1 is currently being worked on. We had OAuth 1.1, 1.0 before, but the reason why we had to move to 2.0 was because 1.0 was difficult for mobile application users and other people to integrate. It was easier for the web, but for mobile it was quite challenging, right? And they had to push it to 2.0. But right now I can't say that there's this, because I've not experienced any, right? Yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, you did actually. But I just want to confirm, so if I log in on a website or I create an account with Google, right? So I'm just giving them my name, my profile picture. I'm not giving them any
Okay.
credential.
Okay, so let me explain now. It now depends. It's not just Google you are using. Do you know that there are times where, let me use Twitter as an example. If you are accessing some, I don't know if anybody has tried all these Web3 applications. I would say, if you give them access, they can change your password, they can tweet on your behalf. Have you connected your Twitter account to anything before? Does anybody use Twitter here? Okay, so I'm just going to make an assumption. So for Google, the information Google has about you is your name, the public information they have about you. They can give if you sign in using your fitness app, they will tell your fitness app that, oh, do you want to connect to their calendar? They can see when you're not busy because they have access to your Google Calendar, right? So it's the information, but they will tell you at the point of authorizing. They will tell you that this particular person has access to, this particular platform has access to XYZ. Do you understand? If you are connecting something to your Twitter, they will tell you that as you are connecting, this person can tweet on your behalf, this person can do XYZ on your behalf. Do you want to continue? They will ask you. So if you now click on the authorize, continue, that means you have given them the exchange, right? They can connect, they can do stuff on your behalf. If you connect your GitHub account to a third-party account, GitHub would warn you before you conclude that. It means that sometimes they can say, do you want to give this person read access? Do you want to give this person write access? So all those conditions, the OAuth platform will tell you before you continue. So, do you understand? So that's just it. All right. Thank you, everybody. It was good to have this session with you.